I made it to Long Island, New York, to the small little town called Mount Sinai. And here at the Washington Memorial Park Cemetery, this is where an unfortunate death happened. This was complete, just accidental, but it's so bizarre that I really had to come here and tell you guys this story. It just seems like something you would see out of a movie or something. So anyway, we're gonna walk through the cemetery. I'm gonna show you guys where this happened. 42-year-old Rodwin Allicock was a cemetery worker, again here at the Washington Memorial Park Cemetery. And on February 25th, 2021, Rodwin was helping dig a grave. He was getting it ready, of course, so they could put the body inside of it. Around 8:30 or so in the morning, he was down inside the grave, roughly about 7 or 8 feet down into the earth. And as he was digging out the bottom, kind of smoothing out the sides, it ended up collapsing on top of him. Many paramedics, police officers, firefighters, etc., of course, arrived to try to help. But unfortunately, Rodwin had already been trapped too long and without oxygen. He was pronounced dead on the spot. Now, I found a video that showcased essentially exactly where Rodwin died. A news crew showed up and there was a small video showing Rodwin's body, of course covered in a tarp or something, but they pull away kind of a wide angle and it showcases a few graves. And so I found the graves that the paramedics were next to, and the shot is kind of like this. And so Rodwin's body would have been like a few rows back, but I distinctly saw this grave in that video. And so Rodwin died essentially right over here. Now what's kind of ironic is there's some other cemetery workers here digging a grave. All right guys, I think I just found where Rodwin died. There's still a partially dug out grave that is now sort of backfilled in. And again, this is not that far from that wide angle camera shot that I showed you earlier. If we turn around, the camera crew or news crew would have been right there, and they were facing this way. So again, my best interpretation of that video where the paramedics were and his body was, it looks like he was inside this grave digging. Again, can you imagine though, just doing your normal job, digging out a grave, and your last moments are in sheer probably panic, desperation of a grave toppling over, the dirt toppling over on you. I mean, I can't even fathom. That must have been so nerve-wracking. Anyway, I tried looking up more information just in general about this, and there's only a few articles that really talk about it, and none really give much more information on how long Rodwin had worked here or his background or anything. He died a month after his 42nd birthday. Just a very sad, tragic case. Again, one that, like I said, you would never expect to happen. I mean, it's kind of one of those nightmare fuel kind of things, like something you think about, like, man, that'd be scary if you were buried alive. And of course, there's been many cases where that's happened in the past, especially like the late 1800s or early 1900s. Now, I tried to look up if Rodwin was buried somewhere himself, and findagrave.com lists him as cremated, and so I can't visit his grave for you because he doesn't have one. You often wonder, did they not give Rodwin the correct tools to make sure that, you know, a grave wouldn't collapse on top of him? You know, did they give him the right tools for the job? I don't know. I'm not sure. You always wonder about that kind of stuff. Like, that obviously shouldn't ever happen. So you wonder, was it Rodwin's fault, or did the cemetery just not provide him with all the correct tools where he could make the grave safe while he was down there? I don't know, but either way, just a sad case. Rest in peace, Rodwin. Rest in peace, my friend. I'll see you guys soon on the next video.